Good. Good evening, everyone. This meeting is being held in accordance with the public laws of 1975, Chapter 231. An adequate notice of this meeting has been provided by a notice sent to the Asbury Park Press, the Two River Times, the Star Ledger, and posted in the main lobby of the municipal building and on the municipal website. OPMA authorizes municipalities to conduct public meetings through the use of streaming services and other online meeting platforms. The Red Bank Council is meeting in person, as well as providing an option for the public to participate via Zoom video meetings. Please note that the option to attend is being provided as a courtesy. Therefore, if Zoom becomes unavailable during the meeting and cannot quickly be fixed, council will continue with the remainder of the meeting. For those joining us via Zoom, please raise your hand during designated times to be recognized for a comment. Whether you are appearing in person or via Zoom, you must provide your name to be recognized. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please, Mary.
Councilmember Bonner Tackett here. Councilmember Facey Blackwood here. Councilmember Forrest.
Present.
Councilmember Janot.
Here.
Councilmember Euro.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Trigiano will be absent this evening, and Mayor Portman.
Here. And just so everybody knows, I just spoke to Deputy Mayor Trigiano a little while ago. She's in Trenton advocating for and awaiting the Senate Judiciary Committee vote on the Immigrant Safety Bill package, also known as the ITA. So that is where Kate is right now. All right, first up, we've got presentations for the winners of our holiday decorating contest. These will be presented by Director Salinas of Parks and Rec. And the top three most festive winners are the Lau family on Bergen Place.
Hey.
What are the Lau family? Come on up, Bill. You have your speech, right? No? Right. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
Okay.
Congratulations, guys. Dedication. Was very windy holiday. Oh, this is fun.
Yeah, here.
No, I'll do it on the microphone, so thanks.
Decorations a lot. Can we go look at them? Can we still go look at them or down?
Sure.
That's a good. It was 50 degrees today.
Yeah.
I'm making sure I have my phone in my pocket so I get credit for all the steps I'm gonna do right now. Next up is the Moore family on West Sunset Avenue.
Video.
No more.
Yeah, we even have
And we have a presentation. Yeah.
What do we have?
Presentation.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh,
That's my neighbor right there.
we have a few of these.
My dog poops on your lawn every day. Next up on Wordley Street, the Lechuga family.
Yeah.
The bridge has like.
When we're fine, it's good night.
By the way, none of you are under any obligation to stay. You're welcome to listen to the business of the municipality, but you can also just sneak out and go open your package. All right, good. Sure, you threw right under the bus. Your dad really didn't want to stay, but he blamed you. See you guys.
Hi, guys.
All right. Can I have a motion to open the floor for public comment for agenda items only?
Make such motion, Mr. Mayor.
I have a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye. Aye.
All right. Anyone have any comments for agenda items? Kind of a light agenda. Lori, you have any comments?
No comments.
All right, good. Anyone online? Jim?
No, sir.
I have a motion to close the floor for public comment.
So moved.
I have a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from 12/11/2025 and 1/1/2026?
Make such a motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Roll it. This is great. All right, next up is an introduction for ordinance 2026-01 entitled an ordinance of the Borough of Red Bank, County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, amending and supplementing Chapter 490, Planning and Development Regulations relating to Section 55, Historic Districts, Sites, Regulation and Procedures, adding Attachment 7, the Historic Preservation Design Guidelines. Can I have a motion to approve ordinance 2026-01 on introduction?
So moved.
Can I have a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bonatakis?
Yes.
Councilmember Tracy Blackwood?
Yes.
Councilmember Forrest?
Yes.
Councilmember Janelle?
Yes.
Councilmember Euro?
Yes.
And Mayor Portman.
Yes. Public hearing for this ordinance will be held on 1/22/26. And this is what we're talking about, by the way. This is the Historic District Design Guidelines. Pretty cool. I'm looking through it. Good work.
Yeah, nice.
90+ pages. Christina, you were the spear from the council side.
Yes, but definitely the credit really goes to the Historic Preservation Commission themselves, and especially the subcommittee that worked on this, along with architect and planner Stephen Smolin. As you say, it's a beautiful document. But I think more importantly is what it does, just to give some context for folks who will obviously be looking at this at our next meeting. But I think it was many moons ago that almost all of us were here for a presentation when we were considering how best to move forward the Historic Preservation Commission, their empowering ordinance, and what they were doing. We got a great presentation from probably the preeminent land use attorney for historic preservation, Michelle Donato, on how this should work. And I think really for everyone, one of the biggest takeaways was exactly this, that these design guidelines are one of the most important components for a preservation function in a borough.
We have been talking about getting guidelines done for quite a while now.
We were lucky to be awarded a grant that paid for a large portion of this work by professionals, as well as a lot of thought being put into that by the commission. And really what it's doing is providing objective criteria for that group when they're reviewing applications, large or small, in the historic districts, as well as other designated sites throughout the town. So it included a very deep survey of our history, the styles, and specifies the architectural characteristics, historical periods that are important to us. So importantly for building owners, homeowners, if they do come before this board, making any changes, etc., they can rest assured that this document is really key to guide the review of any applications, which is incredibly important. I think anyone would, of course, be concerned that they're coming up here at the whim of someone on a board, their particular tastes, what have you, but that's not really what this is about. It's creating the balance that enables us to protect the historic characteristics that are important and that add value for our community.
Awesome.
Have a question, Mr. Mayor?
Sure.
So if somebody wants to read this, they have to
Hit the mic button.
Is it on our website, or can they just open a book, or?
It is on the website. Eventually, if this is approved and is added to our zoning and in our master plan as well, then it will be, as I understand it, it will be available for order separately. But certainly copies are going to be here at Borough Hall and it's available on the website as well.
The ordinance also contemplates it being another attachment to the planning and zoning regulations. So, for example, if you're an architect, you're planning a project and you're going through our planning and zoning, you have the bulk standards and everything else, and this will be right there with it. There's 6 attachments right now, this will be 7. I think one's the zoning map, another is the bulk standards and things you need to be able to understand what the building envelope is when you're building. And then will now go with those, so that if you have property in the historic district, the architect can simply pull that up online and review it. But if you want a pretty book, I think you'll have to order.
I'm very impressed, actually. I think this is a good thing, so it's not. I mean, it's been a struggle. I mean, you can't just, have these standards just change with the how commission's made up. And I was gonna show Christina sign mine. I want to sign copy.
It shouldn't be me, it should really be our commission members. They put in a ton of work here as labor of love, and these are really incredible results.
Congratulations.
The important part is that it keeps saying, these are enforceable, like she said, it's not about taste, it's not about people talking about, what they like or would like to see. These are really standards that you can follow to maintain the historic architecture, and there's certainty for the applicant and the commission in applying them, which is really what's required to have an effective historic district overall, and to have your regulations stick. So, great job, Christine.
There's one thing I would also like to add, is that even though this applies to the historic district and it would be required for the historic district, but if you live in an older home and you're looking for some ideas, this is a good guideline to take a look at.
We have Steve Smoylan, who's from let me just get the name right. He was part of the design guidelines consultant. Steve's on the call with us on Zoom. He's from Architectural Heritage Consultants. Steve, I just wanted to give you the floor in case you wanted anything to add as we contemplate the introduction of this ordinance.
No, I think Councilperson Bonatakis summed it up great. It was a labor of love working with the Historic Preservation Commission over the last 6 months. And I've written design guidelines for Hoboken, where I live, Cape May, Glen Ridge, and a couple other towns. And I think these are going to be really transformative for Red Bank and really empower the HPC to review stuff a lot more efficiently and fairly going forward.
Thank you, Steve. Moving on. We have an introduction for ordinance 2026-02 entitled an ordinance amending chapter 300 construction codes uniform to update construction fees. We passed something last year about this, but it got kicked back to us from who?
Correct, from the DCA.
From the DCA, so we had to make some changes and now it's all better. So can I have a motion to approve on introduction ordinance 2026-02?
I'll make a motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bontakis,
Yes.
Councilmember Tracy Blackwood,
Yes.
Councilmember Forrest,
Yes.
Councilmember Janelle,
Yes.
Councilmember Euro,
Yes.
and Mayor Portman.
Yes. Public hearing will be held on this ordinance on January 22nd, 2026. We have a few resolutions. Anybody need to highlight anything, or can we approve them all on the consent agenda?
Mayor, I'm comfortable with the consent agenda approval.
All right, thank you. Can I have a motion to approve resolutions 26-19 through 26-23 under the consent agenda?
Moved.
I'll second it.
Oh, all right, there we go. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Bontakis,
Yes.
Councilmember Tracy Blackwood,
Yes.
Councilmember Forrest,
Yes.
Councilmember Janelle,
Yes.
Councilmember Euro,
Yes.
and Mayor Portman.
Yes. All right, can I have a motion to open the floor for public questions or comments?
Make such a motion,
I
Mr.
have a second.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Public, the floor is yours. Joan? Come on, I know you got something good.
Maybe just,
Is working.
This one.
Okay. Two things, actually. One, I can see. Okay, Joan Weatherell. I live at 106 Manor Drive in Red Bank. First of all, I owe an apology to Laura Janone and Nancy Facey Blackwood because last meeting I came and I raised the issue again of the meetings not be with the council members requiring or not requiring an appointment. And I neglected to say that in response to my email, Nancy Facey Blackwood contacted me and said she would be happy to meet with me at a time of my choosing. And Laura Janone would meet with her. Councilmember Blackwood had a family conflict, but Laura Janone met with me for an hour and a half, 2 hours down at Baker's on Broad and looked over my lengthy agenda, which I've been accumulating for the past year and a half. And we went over all of the items to my satisfaction. We had a lovely time and a lovely cup of coffee. So that's it. That's that. The second thing is I wasn't aware, so I haven't been coming to meetings, of the historic preservation issue. And I think it is wonderful. I'm looking forward to taking a look at it because I hold out hope of someday being able to buy a house in Red Bank as opposed to a condo. And I would love to buy an older house in the historic district. So it's nice to, at least it's kind of a fantasy at this point, but it'd be nice to look through it if it ever happens, or get guidelines, people to talk to, and so forth. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who was involved in that. It was anything like that is a lot of work. So that's it.
All
And
right, thank you. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
No, you're here. I'll give you my copy of peruse while you're here if you want to.
thank you. I promise to get it back.
I'll come get it.
Does anyone else have any questions or comments?
I don't know if a comment on an issue or.
Anything that's on your mind. Can I ask you to step up to the microphone here?
Yeah.
This one right here, yeah. And there's a little button there that'll, once it goes red, you're on.
Press the button?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
We'll just ask that you state your name and address for the record.
My name is Patricia Brennan. I live at 80 Throckmorton Avenue, apartment B in Red Bank. Sorry,
That's all right.
the stuff from. I'm here because I have been contacting Mr. Gant and Tommy Welch and Mr. Woods about code violations at Prospect Hill Apartments. And I asked multiple times for a code instruction to be done while I was there, so I could actually show them the problems. And Mr. Woods came and did an inspection when I wasn't there. And he walked up to the super and said, "Do you have any problems on the property?" Well, guess what? The super didn't show him the problems. One of the issues, I'm gonna pass these around. These are pictures that Mr. Woods, this is what it looks like when I will go down my steps and try to use the walkway. Please pass them down. I really think that these are inadequately lit. I've fallen down these steps 5 times. Mr. Gant told me that he was gonna have an inspector come out at nighttime. To my knowledge, that has not happened. I've left multiple voicemails for Tommy Welsh. None have ever been returned. The same, I was able to speak with Mr. Woods once, and he said, "I'm not, I think everything is adequate, and we're not going to change anything." But if you look at that, common sense is, can you really see? Like if you're looking at this one, this is the set of steps I've already fallen down 5 times. The area around it is lit, but the steps have no lighting. So I'm simply asking for them to do a reinspection, to please have somebody there. I know Ben Forrest from church. Ben came over yesterday and in the dark. And Ben, did you notice anything that you want to share?
I'm gonna relay any details to the manager, but yes, it was dark, and I do appreciate your time you spent with me, and you sent me an email. you're mentioning employees and things, so I'm gonna be careful about going into any commentary here. You know, the manager's here. And I will definitely share with him, my opinions. On it, because I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
But I would agree that it was, some of those decks were definitely not well lit last night, in my opinion. And I will go into details with the manager, outside the context of this meeting.
It would be an easy fix because when you come into Prospect Hill Apartments, there's an island in the middle, like a little cul-de-sac. That island has electricity. They have electricity for the sign, Prospect Hill Apartments, and for the flagpole. They could easily just add a light that would shine on these steps and on the handicap access. Like sometimes I use a walker. I'm gonna have a surgery this winter. They're gonna break my right foot 20 places and rebuild it. Plates, pins, screws. I am going to be in a wheelchair. I need to be able to get over that curb cutout, and it's all wonky, so I'm asking, please, Mr. Gant, have people come back and do the inspection. I know that we just had the holidays, and that's probably why a lot of the voicemails weren't returned or emails weren't returned. But now that the holidays are over and the New Year's here, I don't want to fall again. Okay, I really don't want to fall again. And it's not only a danger, safety hazard, but somebody could attack. It's so dark that a criminal could break into our cars, attack us, hurt us. I don't want anybody to get hurt in any way, shape, or form. So I'm simply asking for adequate lighting on steps, walkways, to look at the curb cutouts, the handicap things. I spent last night, I read the entire E-code book. That's what I did. I could state where I think the violations are, but I'm not a code inspector. I'm just a long-term resident. I love Red Bank. Went to St. James, went to RBC. I'm a member of the fire department auxiliary. I'm a volunteer here in many places. I love Red Bank and I want to stay, but I can't,
Your microphone might turn.
I'm sorry. I just love Red Bank and I want to stay, but it's not safe there, in my opinion. And other people who come over agree. And I just don't understand how, if you looked at those pictures, how Mr. Woods can say that that's adequately lit. There are spots that do have adequate light. And those were added last year when I moved into the place and there was no light. Everybody's wearing headlamps and flashlights on their phones to get in and out of their cars and in the parking lot. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I can't do that when I'm using my walker. And I shouldn't have to do that. So that's what I'm asking for, is to please, let's look at a reinspection and before somebody gets hurt. The student's wife fell there and broke her leg. And I've fallen, other tenants have fallen. It's really a health and safety issue. So I'd appreciate your help in trying to get it fixed so that nobody else gets hurt.
Thank you for letting us know about it. And Jim, we got it. Yeah,
We've been in contact.
okay.
Okay. One other thing that I'd like to just bring to attention is because I help cook for the homeless and do things at the heartwarming center and at the feast and lunch break. There's no bathroom at the Red Bank train station. A lot of people are getting, the bathroom isn't working.
I'm laughing just because we had one person get up to discuss our public comments at our last meeting, and it was the same complaint that there's no.
Yeah,
bathroom at
you've been getting
the
citations for peeing out in the open, and the police have been telling them to walk all the way to Marine Park, to the porta potty at Marine Park. From the train station, that's a long walk, if you're hauling everything you've got. So please, can we get a porta potty or get the bathroom working or something?
I don't know how that would work. I mean, it's their property, right? New Jersey Transit, I guess we can
To
have
them.
a conversation. Liaison. Yeah, man.
The restroom at the train station's upstairs. I don't think we would probably have to figure something else out.
Right.
I've been there a couple of times where they actually had it open, special events. And it's up those narrow stairs in the old buildings. So you would have to have Porta John or do something else there. And I gotta say, I do agree that we need some accommodations for public restrooms. And not even, the homeless need them. We have them in town. And, then they're gonna forcibly have to go to the bathroom in various locations. But also it's just, commuters and sometimes New Jersey Transit's trains, bathrooms aren't working, as a gentleman said last week, but I've seen it myself taking the train. So, there's a group that runs when you get to Penn Station sometimes up to those restrooms over there. So, it's something we should probably put on our little strategic plan to figure out some way to provide some accommodations in that vicinity. In the meantime, we might want to think about this, getting maybe a porta john or something to do there. Just brainstorming here, Mr. Mayor. I appreciate your indulgence.
All right.
Right.
Matt, thank you so much for coming.
No, letting me speak. I really appreciate it. And hopefully I'll hear from Mr. Gant or somebody soon.
I emailed you again today.
Okay, I didn't see that email. Okay, all right, thank you very much.
Great, thank you. Anyone else have any questions or comments? Anyone online, Jim?
Second. No, sir.
No. Okay, can I have a motion to close the public comment?
Make such a motion, Mr. Mayor.
Have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Or on the delayed reaction there from Alan Volko. Christina, you got anything?
Just a quick comment. I know I'm not the only one in our town who was really disturbed by the news this week. What we saw coming out of Minnesota, certainly, and a tragic death, but also in our own community. We have had, that depends what you want to call it, apprehensions, disappearances, kidnappings by ICE in our own town. And I know people who have previously never witnessed those things with their own eyes were pretty traumatized by the things that they saw right here in Red Bank. So I just want to say that I hope that we never normalize that. This is not normal. This is not okay. Some of those folks, all of those folks taken were important to our community. Some of them, even specifically, are people whose stories and character and community commitment we have been a balm to our community in years and decades past. That hurts a lot. And I certainly would not attempt to speak as eloquently on this subject as some of the folks here, even on this dais. But sometimes I feel helpless in the face of this. And I'm just, at times like that, I'm really thankful for people who are doing the work. I would say that our Deputy Mayor Kate is one of those people doing the work in her absence. I really just want to say how proud I am of her and where she is right now today in Trenton. Speaking for people who can't always speak for themselves, and to encourage our legislators to allow our police force to keep the faith and trust of the people in our community, to keep us all safe as a result. These things are really important. So I just needed to get that out, because I think with a lot of us, it kind of simmers and it sits there and it gets you really upset. But I can't let it go. I can't let it be unsaid. Thank you.
And you got anything?
Thank you.
Yeah.
Powerful words. And one thing I learned through the process of becoming a council member, it's really important to look out for all our community members. And it puts things in a little bit of a different lens for me. So appreciate those words. In terms of updates, at this point in my tenure, I don't really have anything substantial yet. I'm excited to be the liaison to River Center. Anything better than the holidays in Red Bank is the springtime. So really excited to have the downtown rocking. So good
I
stuff.
bumped into Paul Bagno the other day driving by his house, and he was happy that you were, he's not happy that you left the zoning board, but he thinks you're going to be an excellent council.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Yes.
Yes. Happy New Year to everyone. If I didn't say before, you have it now. Along the lines of what Christina mentioned, I'm also very proud of the work that we as a community do to help all our residents. in town, and we do look out for our immigrants. I'm wearing my immigrants t-shirt here, and I'm very proud of our deputy mayor for taking action and being down in Trenton to advocate that we have a good bill to protect all of our residents and to also keep us all safe with what's in the Immigrant Trust Act. So thank you for that. The town calendars are outside for those people who asked for them. And moving on to the EC Green Team, they met Tuesday of this week. And some of the things that they're working on is the native plant ordinance for applications that go through planning and zoning. And these would be native and native plants with diversity. And they're looking at what was done in Eatontown, what is done in Chatham, what's done in Montclair, and trying to come up with something that would work best for Red Bank that is straightforward and effective. The date for the Green Fair has been set, and that's going to be on Earth Day itself, which is on the 22nd of April. Some of the feedback that we got was that we had the kids and the parents of the kids there, but we also want to get more residents to be involved. And so some ideas that we had come up with is like maybe get a bin for styrofoam collection that would then be transported over to Middletown, maybe a bin for recycling textiles, and maybe borrowing a bin for electronics. You may have seen around some yards there gas-free lawn signs. That was done by some members of our EC Green Team. And basically what that means is that where the EC and Green Team members are going around, if they catch somebody using gas-free equipment, be it a rake, be it a battery leaf blower, they'll get a nice little sign on their yard. And I'm looking forward to the municipal carbon footprint report that I know that we've been working on for a while. Skip the Stuff, which was one of the first ordinances that we passed last year in Red Bank, and we were one of the first municipalities to do it, is currently at the state level. And we're hoping to get that on the agenda, which should have been for today, and hopefully getting it across the House and the Senate committee. Shade Tree is still working on the tree canopy project. So also, if you want a tree for your front yard, reach out to Shade Tree and we'll work and try to make something happen. And that's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Laura, you got anything from sunny Mexico?
Yes, hi. Can you hear me okay?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. I want to echo what Christina said and Nancy about what happened yesterday. I am in Mexico, but a friend of mine from Red Bank sent me a video of what went on in Red Bank on Tuesday, I think it was. It's very upsetting. I don't know what to say. I reached out to Kate right away, but it's making people very afraid to go out of her apartment, which they were right in front of her apartment, then on your street on Layton. So I just really don't know. I just want to let everyone know that I agree with Christina and Nancy that we are here for all people. And what happened yesterday was just takes my breath away. Animal welfare, we did meet. We're going to meet again in January, but we did come up with our schedule for dog days and different events that we're doing, probably doing some more collection for the Humane Society. As some of you might know, the Humane Society in Newark, the roof collapsed under snow, and a lot of the dogs were kind of just, had no place warm to be. So we've really been working with them. TJ from Pins and Feathers and Mark, who's on our committee, have gone up there and brought food and really tried to help them as much as they can. And they have a couple of other events planned for the year. Library, we're meeting the end of the month. I was in touch with Jim and Terrence this week about the bathrooms in the basement. They're still not working. I think it's a pump issue, and Terrence from DPU was going to get back to the engineer that had looked at that, because that's been closed for quite some time now. The bathrooms in the downstairs, and that's where the kids are. And Mayor's Wellness. So I was able to meet from sunny Mexico with Mayor's Wellness yesterday at Wednesday. We have our leadership meeting on Wednesday morning. It is an hour difference here, so I they were like, are you coming on? I'm like, oh, yeah. So we had a good meeting. We're planning out things for next year. Some of the things that we have talked about, heart wellness at the senior center, some talks for different parts of the community. So we've been coming up with some ideas for the Mayor's Wellness Committee too. And I think that's it for me. Thank you.
Thanks, Laura. Ben number one, what we had, what did we come up with?
I looked up again when you said that earlier. I was like, oh, you're talking anyway.
You're not,
You young Ben and old Ben, I don't know.
Open.
Old Ben's nice, right? Got gravitas.
Grow a beard.
All right, old Ben, you're up.
I seldom talk about immigration issues. I mean, I live in a neighborhood on Locust Avenue that is a high percentage of immigrants. I don't know how many illegals, because I don't ask for identification. My family and Amy and I bought a house at 16 Locust Avenue, and there's a very high number of recent immigrants in our neighborhood. Of course, I'm an immigrant, my families are immigrants. I've some come from Holland, Lithuania, Ireland. So, you know, it is jolting, you know, when you have police activity on the street of any kind. But I gotta say that I love what the police do. I know it's necessary and it's messy. But I really, really disturbed by mass police officers. Makes me think of like a junta. You know, that, you know, why, if you're a law enforcement person, do you feel the necessity to hide your identity and not be clear about who you are? Now, I guess there are extreme circumstances where maybe that's warranted, but this routine use now of sort of like junta style police tactics across the country and here in Red Bank, you know, I find it very disturbing. Obviously, we are a country of laws, principles, and the Constitution. We need to enforce those laws. We need to support police. We also need to defend individuals, and we have a process of law that I am, you know, I'm very concerned about what I see happening, not only in the country, but in front of my house and in my neighborhood. And I have to say that we've had a very good life in Red Bank. And I'm grateful for many of my neighbors who pay very high rents and work very hard in Red Bank, washing our dishes, doing prep work in our restaurants. Most of them, the vast majority of them are legal, but many legal residents here are in fear. It's not just illegals. I've literally had complaints from business owners about, you know, they're not coming to work because they're afraid. I'm not very sympathetic. Some of them are Trump supporters, and they're like, well, that's just what you voted for, sir. But you got it. So I don't like the new kind of fear thing that is happening in the country. It's quite upsetting, really. And so I'm going to start with that rant there, Mayor, and thank you for your indulgence. I mean, this video took place on my street, and I have a very nice neighborhood with very good neighbors, and I feel very lucky that I'm privileged to live in a place where my kids had a great experience, had great friends, and it is awful to see what's happening on my street. You can see it in the faces of people walking, and certainly everybody staying home and keeping a low profile. This is a very different world that my kids grew up in here in Red Bank on my street now. All right, so getting to the business hand, I am honored to have been appointed to the liaison again of Parks and Rec and to the schools. So I went to the two school meetings so far this month. I'd like to get to the charter school. I haven't gotten there. President Sudas Gomi was reappointed, and Peter Noble was reappointed as president over at RBR, and Sue, of course, is at the borough schools. And very good reorganization meetings, and always an honor to be the representative to your bodies. Nothing to add to that. I also like to say that Parks and Rec gave me some announcements to share. Of course, we had the award ceremony, but in addition to the awards ceremony, one, we have adult fitness classes at the senior center, Zumba and chair yoga starting February 10th at 4:30 p.m. I might try to join that chair yoga. Two, buddy ball every Monday at 5 p.m. at the Red Bank Primary School gym. Three, turf fields renovations undergoing on January 12th through March 1st. So there'll be some disruption. I guess referring to the Count Basie fields, I assume, doesn't exclusive. Winter sports, fourth. Winter sports are underway now at the Red Bank Middle School gym. There is still space for our teens indoor soccer program Saturdays at 1:30 p.m. And finally, number five, Red Bank Middle School gym open to the 8th to 10th graders, CEPD. I'm not quite sure what that stands for. Co-ed, some sort of co-ed gym activity, I guess, at the Red Bank Middle School. Anyway, contact our recreation department for more details. Mr. Mayor, I think that covers my report, and thank you for your indulgence. I warned you I'd have a little long.
Thank you, little Ben. I don't have anything. We just had a meeting a week ago. I'm looking forward to the year. I think we're gonna be able to do some really amazing things this year. And as usual, let us know. We're pretty responsive. Let us know if you have an issue. You can email. Office hours every Monday. Council has office hours every Wednesday at the senior center at noon, and then at the library by appointment. So reach out to us. We will do our best to help whatever you have going on.
Mayor,
Yes.
Mr. Van said he emailed me today. I just read it. He said, you guys are not gonna do anything else. That this is everybody. According to Mr. Lewis. Nobody's coming, nobody's gonna help, nothing's gonna change. And I've fallen 5 times down these steps, and I'm lucky I didn't break anything. And I didn't break my leg like the lady who did, but this is ridiculous. If you looked at these pictures, I sent pictures with every email for Mr. Dan to see that there's no code violations. That I disagree, strongly disagree. And I'd like it fixed. You know, the codes are there to help when a landlord is not responsive to fixing stuff and doing things, then we have to rely on you guys to enforce the code.
This is an apartment complex, correct?
Yes.
So it's DCA regulated as well. So the borough has limited power to order people to install lights on it. I read Mr. Gant's email. It also explains that it's a DCA regulated apartment building. So it has a regular DCA inspection for safety, for all kinds of things, particularly the things that you have in those pictures. So I haven't looked at you, first I heard it when you walked up here today, but the first thing that struck me with the photos that you showed me as the lawyer here is that I'm not sure what code, unless there's a site plan that's being violated, or there's substantial improvements that will require some of the ADA improvements that you had just mentioned. And so what I leaned over and said to Mr. Gannett before was, well, that looks terrible, and this lady's clearly correct, but I'm not sure how we order them to install lights. And so the DCA can order them to install lights as a regulated apartment complex. And so I saw the email, and also, I mentioned that, and that's something that we can contact and help you do, as he mentioned in his correspondence. But, I have to tell you that sitting here right now, just off the top of my head, and I'm pretty good at the property code, if you read around, we're on stuff here. I'm not aware of something that allows us to order them to install lights like that. So I promise you that we'll take a more look at it, but I really think your recourse, as was in the email Mr. Gant sent, is to the DCA, who does a specific safety inspection for that complex. And the stuff you showed me is not acceptable. No one's saying that when but Mr. Woods's analysis is according to our codes or the site plans on file for that they were required to do by our land use boards for approval. And so from Mr. Woods' perspective, there might not be something that he can do. And that's what he told us, frankly, and according to Mr. Gant's email. But the DCA has a lot more broader authority there. That is something we can help you with. And I believe, I don't want to speak for them, but I believe they will address things like that, like the pictures you showed me. But I'm not sure where your ultimate recourse, because I'm not aware of, a code that allows us to order them to install lights, for example, or to do ADA improvements, absent substantial improvements to the rest of the property because of the ADA law. But DCA can, according to their standards, they have a whole set of standards that goes beyond ours for fire doors, the doors to your apartment, the security of that. And those things are more finely regulated. So sitting here, and I don't have an answer for you, but I don't want you to cry because there is another, I'm not sure that we can help you directly from Mr. Woods, but the DCA can help you out and we can help you get to there.
When I was reading the Red Bank Code, like I said, I read it last night, page to page.
But I bet a lot of the lighting stuff you came up with is in chapter 490, which is only triggered if you have a land use application or you have an approved land use application already that requires a certain number of lights in the parking lot, and you follow your site plan, then we can get involved. And like I said, maybe that's the case. I don't know the details sitting here right now. That would go beyond Mr. Woods up to community development as well. So I think that was written there as well. But point being is that's not the be all end all of Mr. Woods, but that Mr. Woods is only one form of regulation that we have here. However, I'm not exactly sure as a municipal engineer, my initial impression when you showed me those pictures was I don't know what municipal official can order them to do that unless there's a site plan file. But the DCA probably can. And then he showed me his email and said that, that's what Mr. Woods told me. And I think that DCA needs to get involved.
Okay, I would appreciate it if you could give me this DCA contact.
Yes, we can do that.
Property management is confusing. They say that they do an inspection once every 5 years, and that the last time they passed. But, there's not.
can make a complaint.
There's multiple things. And, it's unfortunate when I requested a code inspection to be done, I listed things that nobody knew about. And when Mr. Woods came, he didn't have that list. He didn't speak to me, so a lot of stuff went, just unchecked. And that's unfortunate.
I just wanted to bring that to you, and we were going to be talking about it up here already as to what the appropriate route is to, like I said to Jim, the woman is clearly correct. That's not safe, but I'm not sure what municipal official can order them to make it safe. It's really insurance companies that govern this kind of stuff you're looking at, or site plan if that was on file. But long story short, just in the ordinary course, we can't send code, we can't have the code enforcer order people to install lights. As in, all things else being equal, but that's not the end of the road. You live in a regulated apartment, so I'm sure we can find some sort of recourse for it.
Last year, Mr. Woods did order them to install lights, but there was not.
You
And he did put it on the app. That was last year. And that gave us lighting on some of the walkways, but the main one up to my apartment is one that I've fallen on 5 times. And another person's out there broke their leg. And I have to use it every time I come in or out. That's the picture that I showed you. There's no lights on that. Not.
Ms. Brennan, Frank suggested to them at your request that they do that last year, which they complied. They didn't have to. I just want to, for the record, I think the characterization that I was dismissive in any way is patently false. You and I spoke for 40 minutes outside my office. I followed up with an extensive email to construction, to building, to code enforcement, to our fire officials. Everybody went out. Everybody looked at what you said that they didn't have the complaint list. Everybody had the complaint list. We checked the state inspections of the boilers that you had a complaint about. Everything was up to code. Everything was inspected. I've explained extensively in 2 emails now that the recourse that we have as borough officials, as Mr. Cannon's explaining, is a little bit out of our hands. However, we investigated as much as we could to try and either identify an issue and handle an issue, or put you in a direction that you can take your complaint elsewhere. This sounds more of a civil matter between you and your landlord, which we can't get involved in landlord-tenant disputes, which we're asked to all the time. I was very sympathetic to you, and I made sure I took immediate action when you left my office that day.
Yes, you did.
And I just want to make sure that that's clear between us, because even still as of today, I was corresponding with you about these issues. So I will be more than happy to give you the context and the direction to which you can go to further explain the issues that you're having. But I got to tell you that some of our inspectors and multiple inspectors now have not seen or witnessed, maybe through their eyes, what you're experiencing. So it's hard for them to characterize these as code enforcement violations or any violations of our code. So you may have to escalate that to a state level under DCA, which, regulates housing complexes like the one that you live in. However, we do not.
And logs all complaints too. So there's actually a DCA file there's a DCA file for your apartment complex, and anyone else that make complaints. I believe it's available publicly. We can help you get to that. Because I really think that the safety issues you're identifying might not necessarily, I don't think they're code violations. That was my first impression when you held up those pictures. But they're likely DCA violation. So we can help you get to the right spot.
I appreciate that.
No problem.
Scary,
No, I can see that.
scary. So I will get her. Yeah. I'm gonna get her.
Is it, I permitted all this, so what I should have done was reopen the floor for public comment. So do you have something you need to add, Joan? Then, can you hang on one second? Can I have a motion to reopen the floor for public comment? Have a second?
Effective 12 minutes ago.
All in favor?
Aye.
I do appreciate your indulgence with the public.
I will be as brief as I possibly can, being a retired attorney. First of all, I live in a complex that is also regulated by DCA. I know that the borough has limited ability to do things like enforce the shade tree thing, does not apply within our complex. I found that out the hard way. And I know that DCA was out fixing a sidewalk. DCA, at the behest of DCA, there was a dangerous sidewalk that was fixed about 1.5 years ago. And when I asked whatever prompted the management to suddenly take care of it, DCA got on it. So I just want to affirm that the borough does have limited reach, okay? And DCA is the institution, is the whatever. They're the ones to go to. And I think I heard an offer here to help you contact DCA and let them do it because they know the right language, they know how to do it, they know who to talk to, and they can send you in the right direction. They can't represent you, but they can put you on the right path. So it's unfortunate that that's about all that I have to say, but I just want to confirm that they're right. You're stuck. I'm stuck living in Red Bank Manor. We have our own issues, but that's the way it is.
Yeah, we can help. And the other thing too is, like she said, DCA, if they get a complaint about safety, they will come. So it's not some fluff. And we can help you get like you said, people have fallen out there. I'm sure that our police have responded, right? So we can get you what we can help you do is gather those police reports to submit with the DCA complaint so that they know it's documented and there's record. And then I represent apartment building owners. They'll show up, believe me. And then, no landlord really wants a jacket of complaints, so.
Thank you.
Ms. Brennan, I've sent you 3 different contacts for DCA. So you have that immediate to you now. It's the Bureau of Housing Inspection for Multiple Dwellings, the Division of Codes and Standards, General Codes contacts, and the DCA General contact at their main office.
So that's so.
Thank you for letting me speak again.
Have a motion to,
Thank you for making time for me to visit Pat yesterday.
have a motion to close the public comment.
Make such a motion.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Jamie, got anything?
Thank you, Mayor. I think I'd be remiss if I didn't recap 2025 a little bit. Obviously, the plan is to provide a comprehensive report as a borough manager's report, which we're actively working on. Actually, tomorrow, all department heads have been instructed to provide my office with their report. Thanks, Mary, for getting that in today. Appreciate you. But a lot of good things happen over 2025, and I know I'm gonna miss some things and some things I want to keep for the report and have it out there as highlighted, but we obviously reinforced the council manager form of government even further throughout the year. We advanced transit-oriented redevelopment initiatives. We designated areas in need of rehabilitation to encourage reinvestment while preserving our neighborhood character. Just tonight and what was worked on throughout the year, we released the Historic Preservation Commission design guidelines. Again, that was a committee that was reestablished by this governing body. So great work as far as legislative leadership goes with that as well. From transportation, mobility, and safety, we achieved statewide recognition for Complete Streets leadership. We earned gold level Safe Routes to School designation 2025 through 2027. We implemented tactical urbanism and quick build safety improvements through a grant at River and Layton, which had effects right away, reducing speed in that area. Public safety, Chief Frazee had a full, complete year under his belt, and which we then enhanced our command leadership there by promotions and much needed and timely promotions in the police department. From a personnel standpoint in the borough, we saw Mary Moss complete a full year as the borough clerk, which we are so thankful for. Mary did a tremendous job leading that office. We're looking to bring passport services to the borough so that people don't have to, make appointments at Monmouth County Community Connections, which are sometimes, very hard to get. We're going to be working in Mary's office to bring that to residents and visitors of the borough. We created the position of Deputy Director of Public Works and hired for that position in Jerry Sarai, who has great organizational and operational leadership coming from New York City Department of Sanitation. We backfilled our community engagement coordinator position with Fatima, and at the same time, just further enhancing further advancing the management enhancement report by combining the departments of our senior services, recreation, and community engagement by promoting Adriana to Director of Recreation and Human Services. We saw new River Center leadership this year, which we worked great in collaboration with the borough. We're advancing so much stuff in the downtown as well. Obviously, the work on Marine Park has been tremendous. I mean, what's going on right now, even as today went, much of the equipment is installed. We're still on track for that spring opening of Marine Park. That's just a tremendous project that we're super proud about. Our DPU facility is advancing as well. We're working through our engineer and our architect for bringing a new facility, which incorporates some green infrastructure and obviously some energy saving components to that building as well. We're going to be looking at the senior center parking lot improvements this year. There's a ton of stuff that we did by way of bond ordinance and other improvement projects throughout the borough. We kept this budget at a 2% increase with all the things that are increasing around us. I thought that was a tremendous win for us as well, because a lot of things are going up, and particularly what we're seeing this year going up is the healthcare costs to the borough employees as well. So that's something that, but what's great is that my ability to be on the health insurance fund as a commissioner, and then at the same time on the joint insurance fund as an executive commissioner to the Monmouth Joint Insurance Fund, gives the borough leverage to leverage that relationship and negotiate and work with all the other municipalities that are involved there to get us the best rates that we can. Can't really keep going, but there's just so much that we did community engagement wise. We saw the See My Legacy program rolled out. We saw more sponsorships come through that program than we had in the past for a number of our initiatives that we had. Community solar, we're looking to advance that this year. In 2026, our Vision Zero grant work, we're going to be looking at next meeting for awarding an RFP for that project as well. We have a number of different grants that we are awarded that we will be working on throughout this year. So, you know, I'm thrilled with the personnel changes, the projects that we have going on in town, the financials of the borough. We're in a very strong position. We have so much work to do. There's just so much going on that this team of employees is working tremendously well together. You know, we meet often, we discuss things collaboratively. We're trying to, you know, get out of that working in silos that was referenced in the management enhancement report. It's been an absolute goal of mine to have everybody working and talking together. And I think that the systems that we're putting in place, the gov tech that we're putting in place is helping along the way. And in 2026, I'm just really looking forward to all that we're going to accomplish. So thank you for giving me that time, and on to the next.
You're welcome. Good work, Jim.
Thank you, Jim.
Thanks, Jim.
Do we have, yes, Ben?
I just wanted to say I appreciate your reports actually at every meeting. It's very nice. I've said this before, but I want to say it again. For the many years I was here as an attendee, I rarely would hear a manager give. And, you know, and there's a lot that we're doing. We're paying you a fair amount of money. I think it's important that the public and all of us hear what you're doing. And I appreciate that. I do. I walked here tonight. I crossed Shrewsbury Avenue with the new light, and somebody even stopped when the light was doing the pedestrian crossing, which doesn't always happen. So I do appreciate all those things, and I do appreciate the pedestrian improvements. Of course, we're not in Nirvana. We have a lot of work to do on all these things. Main Park, I'm very proud of what we're doing there. I'd like to have been done already, but the reality is there's a lot of challenges there. It's going to be nice to have a great park. I just wish it had happened 20 years ago when I was raising my children here, because we would groan, Amy and I, about go to County Rubber Park to have a premier playground experience. So thank you, and it's very much appreciated. I also appreciate the attention to detail, responding to Pat, responding to other things. I think Laura actually earlier mentioned about I sent you a note about the bathrooms at the library. And I appreciate that attention to detail.
Thanks, Ben. Yeah, it's been great. And one thing that Ben mentioned was the pedestrian safety. DPU just this week got their thermoplastic painting machine, so we can really enhance our crosswalks by using instead of just regular road paint, thermoplastic reflective paint at our crosswalks as well. So that's another enhancement that will bring.
I got a feeling pedestrian safety is always going to be with us. It's a tough one.
Absolutely. It is a tough nut to crack, but it's something that we're going to keep chipping away at.
Thank you, gentlemen. Do we have an exec session?
Briefly, yes, ma'am.
We do. Then can I have a motion to adjourn to executive session?
So move.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great. We are going to take a quick 4 or 5 minute break and then continue in exec session. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you. For the public's benefit, we will be discussing contract negotiations regarding to the lead service pipeline replacement program. The executive session will take approximately 10 minutes, and we will not, let's say 15 to be safe, and we will take no action after we exit executive session. Thank you.